In a world filled with intergalactic space battles, metahuman destruction on a global scale, and psychopathic serial hauntings, there's only one team who can make sense of it all. When your world is overrun with rampant pop culture, call Loop and Larry, Guardians of Geek.
We've broken the 100 barrier. We're in the 101st. 101st explosion. Yes.
Yes. We've done it. We have finally made it. We're past that 100 episode mark, which was a huge deal to get to that mark. Yeah.
I know.
So now
we didn't even think we would, and then here we are.
I can't wait to get the 105th episode. That's my next.
Just slow down. Let's
Okay. Sorry. Hey, everybody, I'm Luke.
And I'm Larry.
And this is Guardians of Geek. We are back with a brand new episode, and lots going on. So far this year. How's everything going? How are you coming down from that 100th episode?
It took. There was a bit of a gap between the 100 and the 101st because it took a while just to decompress from that because it's not every day you hit 100. Right?
No, I found it was funny because we'd put out that it was the 100th episode. So if you're watching us on Rogers, it's not our 100th episode on Rogers, but if you go to our YouTube, this is our 101st episode. And so 100th episode, we were saying we were on our 100th episode. Suddenly all these people that have never listened to the podcast are noticed our podcast.
Yes.
And we've only been putting out stuff for 100 episodes. And they just notice it now.
Yeah. I don't know.
But it's funny.
You put a big number in front of it, and all of a sudden people are like, "Ooh, I should jump on the bandwagon."
Well, now this is something. They're waiting for us to make sure that it was legit before they jumped in on it. And they're like, okay, 100, okay, now we can join in on this, on the fun of this.
This isn't just a fly-by-night podcast. They're here to stay.
I guess we're here to stay now. Well, welcome if you are just joining us for the first time. Let's go to Top Pop because lots have been going on in the geekdom world.
Okay.
Hey kids, it's time for Luke and Larry's Totally Tubular Top Pop!
All right, this is Top Pop where we talk about all things geek, whether it's something going on in the world or something that we're just interested in right now. And lots going on in the world. One of the things I just want to mention, and it kind of comes off something we were talking about in the last episode, Conan O'Brien hosting for a third time for the Oscars. And again, March 14th, the day before my birthday. Again, we talked about this in the last episode. Is that too late for the Oscars?
Yes.
It is.
It is way too late. It's the hype is gone. The award season is practically over before that happens.
Yeah.
And we're now 3 months into the year, 3.5 months into the next, into the new year. So all the movies that are nominated are way far away.
Yeah.
I just find it's just too late. It's too late. And it's a shame because, I still love it. I still love the broadcast, but I know for a fact we've already booked the trip. I won't be home to see it again this next year. So,
and I had a birthday party based around the Oscars and nobody watched it.
No, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be doing that again. It's I kind of wanted to watch them and I just totally missed them all because of it. So, but anyways.
But I do like that Conan's coming back. I think he's great.
I think I like when they have a consistent host.
Yes.
And it's somebody everybody kind of knows and he knows what to do and he's good at what he does.
Yeah.
And I think he's been great. And I think he could be a legendary host if he does it a bunch more
exactly
past three. So
he could be this generation's Billy Crystal.
Yeah.
Totally.
People seem to like him. So he's not everything's a hit. I mean, you could take the Oscars the hosting and really break it down and but I can't do better than Conan on any given day. So let him go at it. He's the best in the business in my opinion.
So now they just need to move it up so that everybody can watch it.
Yes. Yeah. They need to look at your vacation schedules, what they need to do. Yeah.
So, this is a problem for me.
I know why they're not thinking of you when they do all this. But
I know. I've been a loyal viewer for 20 plus years, 30 years, whatever, a long time. Yeah, then totally not considering.
They dropped the ball. That's
50%.
all we can say, like
Yeah,
generally. So
terrible.
good work, Oscars. Good work.
Yes.
What do you got?
Okay, so we're right into the pop culture like entertainment season now. I mean, like we're far enough into the year that all the good stuff is coming out. We're getting close to summer, so I just wanted to touch on quick a couple of shows and movies that I've been watching that I want that I think everybody should see. Okay,
Okay.
so I'm gonna start first with TV. New show called Widow's Bay. I think I've mentioned this to you. I don't, have you
Yeah.
watched it?
No, it's on my list for sure. I've got
Okay.
it on my
So
my.
this thing,
It's Apple TV, right?
it's Apple TV, yep. And it's the way it was described, and this is what got me was if Parks and Rec was directed by Mike Flanagan. And I was like, okay, well, those are two of my favorite things. So this has got to be good. That's exactly what it's like. It's funny. It's not like interview style like Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
It's not like that. But
like
but it's
testimonial style.
yeah, it's not kind of like that, but it's a little bit documentary-ish kind of thing. But the characters are quirky and funny, like they were in Parks and Rec. But then there's a horror aspect to it, like a Mike Flanagan. That's so Mike Flanagan. It's very atmospheric
Okay.
and dark and very creepy. But the blending of the two is awesome. It's just so well done. And I'm obsessed with this show. I think it's so good. So Widow's Bay, put that on your lists.
It's on my list already, and I because a couple of people have told me about it, and I really want to watch it. So, and I read something about it as well that came through a feed. So I was like, okay, I can definitely gonna check this
it's a
out.
good one. It's got the Larry endorsement. So
Oh wow, that could be good or bad. We'll see.
that means a lot,
That is okay.
Yeah, no, that's
All
good
right.
stuff. I'm pretty sure I'll finish this season. I'm pretty confident.
Now it's going slowly dropping to the bottom of my list.
It's going to be the best show of all time. Mark my words. You're going to love it. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Okay. All right.
Speaking of best things of all time,
Okay.
just two quick movies. So we're like as has been the trend for the last few years, horror movies have become better and better and better, and this year is no different. There have been two so far that are a massive standout for me. One of them is Hokum, which I know you have seen.
Yeah, it's great. I loved it.
Fantastic. Like it's the whole folk horror kind of vibe, and it's just creepy and awesome. And Adam Scott, as funny as he is on Parks and Rec,
He's great in it.
so good. He's so good. So definitely put that one on your list. We just this past weekend saw Obsession.
Oh, I was gonna go see that like today at one point, but then I didn't.
You should. It's so good. It's just
Yeah, it looks good.
Just bonkers. Like it is just crazy bonkers. But it's one of those movies that you'll think about afterwards and think about what's been happening. So it's not just a horror movie that you watch and be like, oh yeah, that was fun. So there are horror movies like that, like what was it? Primate is a good example. Pretty good movie. Like I enjoyed watching Primate.
I like Primate, yeah.
But then I went home and later in the night I was like, oh right, I saw a movie earlier today. You know what I mean? It was one of those like it didn't really stick with me. For this Obsession will stick with you. You'll become obsessed. It's so good. It's super indie. It had a budget of $750,000. That was it. The whole budget. And this opening weekend, it's already made 17.5 million. So it's doing pretty well. So chances are there'll be a sequel at some point.
There was another movie that was an indie one that came out this year where it's about a girl that does a podcast. I can't remember the name of it. It's escaping me, but it was really good. Like it was Canadian, I believe, and it's and it was very indie. Like it was all shot in one house. Like it was like, but it was pretty cool. It had a really cool concept, but anyways, I had no name for it or anything, so I'm just going to throw that out.
That's fine.
You know when you can't quite remember the name? That's how good it was. I can't remember the name of it. It's like, but when you said indie, it reminded me of that movie, but it's escaping me because I wasn't prepared to remember it. So
fair enough. No, and we're old, so that happens. You know.
Yeah, that's what happens. These things just drift from your brain, but
they totally do.
Anyway. I was going to go see that today, and then I had other stuff suddenly come up, so I didn't. But it's on my list for tomorrow or the next day to see it at the theater. So.
Definitely put it on the. Yeah, it's great. If you like horror movies, if you like indie horror movies with brand new directors, because I think this was his first movie. And I can't remember the name of the director because we are old. But it's great, both of them together. So yeah, good trend. The trend is upwards for horror this year with Widow's
the
Bay.
other one that looks. Oh, sorry. The other one that looks interesting is I think it's called Back Room.
Yes.
Yeah, that one looks really interesting too, and that's based from a YouTube like he has a series of which I haven't seen, but I kind of want to see the movie first before I watch any of the YouTube stuff. But
you might want to watch some of the YouTube stuff because there's lore to it. Like there's lore to this thing. It's like there's backstory, and the YouTube videos I've watched a bunch. I think there are like 23 of them, but they're short. They're only like 3-4 minutes each. Like they're pretty short.
Okay, maybe I'll watch them all.
Yeah, and they're so well done. And it was this kid, Kane, and he has a last name, but his first name is Kane. But anyway, they're making. I'm super excited about that. It comes out like the week that we're recording this. It comes out this week. But yeah, that one I think is going to be pretty intense as well. So
yeah, it just looks interesting. I like the whole idea of it. So
yes, yeah. So yeah, we will report on that one as soon as we see it, which will be soon.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
The other thing I was going to mention is just like Marvel right now is like I don't know if you finished Daredevil or not.
Not yet. No.
Yeah, it's so good. The season of Daredevil is fantastic. I watched the Punisher one. Could have been a series. It's only a one shot. I don't know if you watched it. Like so. No. It's good. Like it's a good show, but I don't know what it did to like the purpose of it. Like kind of it does have a purpose, but it's interesting. But it's really cool. Like there's some really cool stuff in it. Like I enjoyed it. I just I would have liked to have dug a little deeper into it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But
are they setting him up for the new movie?
He just sort of becomes more Punisher-ish in this series. Like it's just a one-shot movie, but it's like but it's good. It was interesting. So anyways, I enjoyed that. And then we've got X-Men 97 season 2 comes out, but they still haven't given a date, but apparently the trailer is coming out in a few days. Then Vision Quest got a date this week, October 14th, for that, which I thought was going to be a little earlier than that, but it's a little later than I thought. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 2 comes out, and then Spider-Man Brand New Days July 31st already. So that's already coming out this summer. Yes. And then Avengers Doomsday December 18th. So it's a good year for Marvel. And then so far, if Daredevil set the tone, I think it's going to be good in that new and the new Punisher One Last Kill, which was excellent. So
which is good because they needed a bit of a boost. Because there was a bit of a lull there for a while, with some of the shows and some of the movies were not so good. So yeah, they need to,
not so good.
They're not so good. So they need to figure that out.
Yeah. So I think they're got a better build this year than they had last couple of years. Like I think what they need is an Avengers movie. Is what they need to be like here's everything's funneling towards this Avengers movie, and they didn't have that the last couple of years.
Yes.
So everything just sort of was drifting, and they did a lot of character creation over the last few years, but no real not a lot of meaty stuff. Like you know what I mean? Like so, I think the Avengers are sort of the head pole of the whole thing.
Yeah, there was no. We'll call it an end game. There was no end game that they were setting up for. In the last couple, are you just looking for something there? Or?
I don't know where I'm going exactly. I know where to go. I just like
there. I made a good joke.
Yeah. Anyway, I heard it. The joke was heard, and it was noted. Yeah.
Okay, perfect, good.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. It's not bad. Not bad. I'll give you that.
Okay.
A 2 out of 5 on Letterboxd for that joke.
That's my highest score yet. All right.
Do you want to do what did I buy now? Because I'm sure you bought something.
I sure did.
What did we buy now?
All right, here we are. What did I buy now? Because Larry and I are always buying something.
Yep.
There's always something showing up at the house constantly. Yes. So we just like to showcase some of the things. Sometimes we have stuff, sometimes we don't. But I think we both have something today that we want to showcase. For me, it's I'm kind of obsessed with these Halloween action figures. Oh, here we go again.
Put it right in front of you, right in front of your face. No, there. down. There you go. There you go. Oh,
Come
those are
on.
cool.
Yeah, so this is from Halloween 4, as you can kind of see. There you go.
Awesome. There it is. Oh, those are
Yeah.
super cool.
So there's a whole series of them. You can get them from Fright Rags, and there's a bunch. There's a whole series of these. And I got Dr. Loomis as well here.
Oh, look at little Loomis.
Little Loomis. Why is this like so? Oh, there you go.
There you go. There you go.
There you
Little
go.
Loomis.
Little Loomis. So but there's a whole series of them, and I saw the set advertise the Halloween 4 one. So then I was like, well, okay, I'll get that one. I think a couple friends of ours have gotten a few of these from this set.
Yes.
So, and then I just sort of saw this set, and I was like, okay, I'll get that. And then I saw the Dr. Loomis on there, and I'm like, I'll pick it up. But there's like a whole bunch. Like they got like a bunch of like side characters. Like
That's awesome.
They got Ghost Bob. Remember, you know, in Halloween where he puts the sheet over himself and
Oh,
puts the glasses on?
Yeah,
Like, that's a figure.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? This is good because Comic-Con season is coming up right now. So, and we've got our first one in about 3 weeks. So this is now going to give you something to look for when we go to, the past few years we haven't had anything specific. So now I
got a few things I can look for while I'm there.
That's it. It's important. Yeah.
But then it comes down to like, this is always the problem when you collect something like a series or whatever, is do you just get a couple to display or do you complete the series? Because when you start completing series and they keep putting out more, then it becomes cumbersome.
Yes.
I don't know what the point is where a collection becomes cumbersome or not, but there's always that point.
There is. Yeah. Well,
and then you're like pop figures is a good example. Like I got rid of a ton because I had so many. I got too like obsessed with it, and then you have nowhere to put them all. There's like way too many of them.
Yeah.
So,
but knowing you the way I do, I feel like you're probably going to go ahead and collect the whole thing. That's just
I kind of need it. You
you do. Yep. Yep, I totally. And when we're at cons, I will be right there to encourage you to buy them.
Thanks.
Yep, that's my job.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So, anyways, these are available on Fright Rags. They're pretty cool, actually. So,
awesome.
I I love it. Like it's I like the fact that there's just some weird ones that are like these oddball characters and things that they have figures for. So,
and the packaging is cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The packaging looks really cool.
I assume you're going to keep them in the package.
Yeah.
And the package is cool. So I think it's a worthy collection.
All right.
I support this.
Okay, 10 things I don't need, but they look kind of cool. So
exactly.
All right.
That's why we do this segment, because
exactly.
All things we do not need, but we get anyway. Yeah. All right. Yeah, speaking of things that we don't need, but we get anyway. I was recently in an antique store, and I was looking around, and something caught my eye and literally made me go, and I didn't even care how much it cost. I was getting this, and I was with my wife, and she was like, "I have absolutely no idea what this is and why you're doing this, but whatever." But so I'm just gonna show this to you. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, and I want you to see. I want to see if you recognize this thing.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Oh God. That's from Shining.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Boom.
Right. I saw this is exactly the case. The Calumet baking powder was featured heavily in The Shining. It was in the storage room where Jack was locked in the storage room. Yep. And it also became like one of the theories about The Shining. Remember how there was that documentary Room 237?
Yeah, I just watched that last year again.
Yeah. So it's one of these theories was that The Shining was about the destruction of Native Americans and Native American land and all of that. And so they put this in there. So it played really heavily in there. And it was such an iconic piece that when they released Welcome to Derry, the TV show, the grocery store that Welcome to Derry featured had a whole shelf of this exact
that's cool. Yeah, it's wild.
As an homage to The Shining and to Stephen, because it's all Stephen King's universe. So they connected the universe. But I actually saw one on a shelf, and I'm like, that's iconic. Like, that's an iconic.
I didn't even know, to be honest, that was a real product. I thought it was for the show. I thought it was for the movie. It's just something that's not around anymore, so I didn't know if that was a real product or not. I assumed it kind of was, maybe, but they have products in movies that like there's like brands of chips and stuff that aren't like real brands, but they're licensed for movies specifically. But that's hilarious.
And so that's what I thought. I thought because of this theory about the Native Americans, I thought maybe they created this can so that they can put it up. Nope. And so when I saw it, I was like, oh, that is awesome. I need to own one of those.
Now I want to watch The Shining again now.
I know. So anyway, I was very excited. It's not a toy, but it's like
that's like anything collectible or something that's from a movie. I love it.
Yeah, totally. So anyway, that's on a shelf in my house now.
I was scared I wouldn't be able to get it. I wasn't sure how deep a cut. That's a deep cut. If you haven't,
it's a really deep cut.
Yeah.
So, but you nailed it. You got it right there.
I got it right away.
It's that iconic. Yeah,
it is. I remember it specifically, and maybe I remember it more because I saw the documentary as well. But I do remember seeing it. It's very prominently featured behind characters in the movie. Like,
oh yeah, like once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's there. Yeah. So now it's on my shelf.
Love it.
Yes. Yeah.
More money spent.
I know. For no good reason.
All right, you ready to do pop capacitor?
I sure am.
All right, here we are for Pop Capacitor, where we look back on something and then we basically like a movie or a TV show or whatever it is, and then we decide, or a toy, occasionally a toy, maybe a video game, and then we decide whether it still holds up. But sometimes we talk about just subject matter in general, like something that's like part of our childhood. And Sid and Marty Krofft is one of those companies, two brothers that produced some wild stuff in the late 60s, early 70s, even into the like 90s, really, I think, isn't it? But really we're focusing more on the 60s, late 60s, early 70s kind of canon of Sid and Marty Krofft. And you'll recognize, if you don't know who they are by name, the shows. But Sid Krofft just recently passed away. He passed away on April 10th. And Marty Krofft passed away last year, or 2023. He passed away. So now they're both gone. But because Sid just passed away, it got us thinking about Sid and Marty Krofft, because it had a big influence on both of us and the type of shows we watched. And basically they were just to give a brief, they're brothers, and they did that. Their real name's not Krofft, but they're Canadian.
Yes, they're from Montreal.
I forgot that. Like I think I've read that before, but I kind of forgot about it. I'm like, and of course, if you're Canadian, anyone that's Canadian is suddenly like royalty. It's like, if they've done anything beyond anything in Canada, you're like, yeah.
I know. And I had, until we did this, somehow I did not know that. Until we were prepping for this show, I don't know how that got past me. But as soon as I saw that they were from Montreal, I just was like, oh, what? That's awesome.
Yeah. And they did some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen, like that's been put to television.
But before you go too much further, you said Sid and Marty Krofft was not their name. Their actual names were, Sid's name is Sidus Iolas. They're Greek. So their last name is actually Iolas. His real name is Cydus. Sidus. So Sid.
I can see why he changed it.
Yeah. And his brother Marty, his name was Moshopopoulos. Moshopopoulos Iolas. Yeah. Last name Iolas, first name Moshopopoulos. So much easier to say Marty.
Marty. Sid Marty's much easier.
Than Sidus and Moshopopoulos.
I feel like back then that was like sort of like an age where like a lot of people changed their names because it was like the sort of Hollywood, like, oh, no one can remember that name, so we're going to give you this name. Like, we're going to give you Powers as a last name because that sounds way better or whatever. Like, there's a lot of that going on back then, like, because people just couldn't handle a foreign sounding name for whatever reason. So
I totally agree. And then the other interesting fact is, so if you're watching us, the word Krofft, their last name, Krofft. The reason that there are two F's in there is because they thought with one F, the word looked too short. So they just wanted to literally lengthen the word. So they just
funny.
Put it in an extra F. That's why it's Krofft to make it longer. Sid and Marty Krofft.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
that's yeah. Fun fact.
So the first show they like really worked on was Banana Splits, which I thought they actually did that show, but they didn't. It was
No.
a Hanna-Barbera show,
Yes.
but they designed all the costumes for it
Yes.
apparently.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like it was their show, but that's I didn't know that till I started researching it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes 100% sense because I thought it was their show, and then
Yeah.
it's very Sid and Marty Krofft, like so.
Very. Yeah.
And for those that don't know them, they did a lot of puppets, like in costumes, like
Yes. Like
and weird.
full size foam costumes.
Yeah. So and
Yes.
once we start talking about the shows, you'll be like, oh yes, if you don't know who they are already. So
Yeah.
so I thought we'll just we'll do just some initial thoughts of watching them, and then
Yep.
we'll start going into some of the more specific shows that they produced. So
Yes.
so Larry, you go first about what you thought when I say Sid and Marty Krofft. What do you think, or do you remember of them?
What I think is Saturday morning TV, like for as long as I can remember. Like, I mean, we've talked about Saturday morning TV and the things that we watched on TV. Like, we watched hilarious House of Frankenstein, but that wasn't Saturday morning. But those are the. But Sid and Marty Krofft was on from pretty much the time we were born until the time we stopped watching TV on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
Like, they had shows on all the time. They were prolific with the number of series that they put out there. So like everything we watched was peppered with Sid and Marty Krofft, like in between things and all over the place. I mean, you had the Banana Splits, you had the HR Puffin stuff, and Sigmund and the Sigmund the Sea Monster, and the Bugaloos. Like it was just never ending. They had so many shows, and they were all so different from anything else that was on TV because everything else was animated. Like we watched a lot of cartoons,
Yeah.
but these ones weren't animated. But it was almost like they were cartoon, like living cartoons, because they were super colorful. They were super wacky, like weird, with the craziest sound effects ever. And so it was almost like watching cartoons, but with real people.
Yeah.
That's how I remember thinking about it. Like it felt like watching another cartoon, but these were real people. So
Yeah.
that's what it felt like to me, and there was nothing at all like it on TV, and there hasn't been since. Like it's so distinctive.
Yeah, and that's much one of the things I remember is just the wackiness of it and the weirdness. Like everything was very odd and very weird and very like which is very similar to Hilarious House, and
Yeah.
that there's a lot of like kind of crazy puppeteering, a lot of crazy characters. And just every show had just a very odd concept, but odd enough as a kid that you're like, okay, this makes sense to me.
Yes.
But it was bizarre. Like I'm a huge HR Buffett stuff fan, and I don't even know why because it's such a weird like almost like a variety show but with puppets.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's almost like it's got very sketch and like vaudeville and
yeah.
like joke telling, punchline telling sort of
And
comedy.
yeah, and they always had music. So most of these shows had, well, not all of them, but a lot of them had music. Like the characters sang and danced, and so yeah, it totally was like a '70s variety show, like
Yeah.
with these wacky characters. And the other thing that was neat about them is that they all took place in these weird worlds. Like they didn't necessarily take place on Earth. A lot of them, or some of them, had the same sort of theme where like a real child somehow like found a portal or
Yeah.
made his way into another dimension, like another world.
Yeah.
And so, because HR Puffin stuff did that.
Lidsville.
Lidsville did the same thing where it started in our world, but they'd find a way to make it into this other. So these are all like really odd universes. Like they weren't ours. They weren't on Earth. So nothing about it looked familiar because
Yeah.
everything was weird. Like trees walked and talked and moved around, and like it was just such a weird world. It was a pure escape is what it was.
Yeah. It was like if the McDonald's land characters came to life and you're like, that's what it
Yes.
kind of was like. It was because they were very similar to like, in fact, I feel like I read once that like the Mary McCheese or whatever. One of those costumes was
Yes,
based on
yes.
HR Puff and stuff. Like it was like so cool. Like just the whole thought of it, the whole style of it was cool. And yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
of songs and things that we could kind of get into as kids. And again, I don't know how many episodes some of these were. Some of them were longer than others, but they felt like they were on forever. And
Well, they
and
yeah.
because I think because a lot of not when we were growing up, we've talked about this, but there's not a there wasn't the urge for content like there is today. So like
Mhm.
these shows were still being played when we were like 8, 9, 10, like in
Yeah.
that age group, and they came out in like early 70s. So
Well, so and just talking about how many of these shows there were and how long they lasted. I'm not sure how long each one of these lasted, but let me just go through quickly like the first bunch of shows that they did and give you the dates to show you how fast they were putting these shows out. Okay, so Banana Splits came out in 1968.
yeah,
They didn't create it, but they made the costumes. HR Puff and Stuff came out in 1969. The Bugaloos came out in 1970. Lidsville came out in 1971. Sigmund and the Sea Monsters came out in 1973. Land of the Lost came out in 74. Far Out Space Nuts came out in 75. And Lost Saucer also came out in 1975.
they're pumping them out.
And then the Krofft Super Show, which included Captain Cool and the Kongs, Dr. Shrinker. I love Dr. Shrinker. Electro Rumen and Dyna Girl, Wonderbug, Magic Mongo, Bigfoot and Waldo. That came out in 76. Bigfoot and Wild, and then the Brady Bunch Hour, which they also did, came out in 77. But those like literally a brand new show from Sid and Marty Krofft every year from 68 until 77 or 78. Like
And these shows had like a
crazy.
lot of costumes and giant
Yes.
sets. And I mean, as you watch them more, there's a lot of like, I don't want to say borrowed stuff, but there's a lot of borrowed ideas
There
from
are,
one
yes.
to one. Yeah. So it's like,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, 100%. It's crazy. Like the amount of stuff they were pumping out and the ideas that have to come out.
Yeah, it's nuts. But they were all fun. Like they didn't really have a miss. Like I remember every one of these shows. I watched all of them. Every one of them. Lost Saucer, like I said, Dr. Shrinker. Like I watched.
That was your nickname in college, wasn't it?
No, it was not. No, it was not. Don't be proud of that.
I am kind of. I'm a little bit proud of that one. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
Anyway,
you said it like 4 times already, so you're.
What do you mean, Dr. Shrinker?
You're overly excited about it, too.
I like Dr. Shrinker. What can I say? Anyway, but they were all good. Like none of them were bad. Like you didn't turn on like Bugaloos and be like, oh, this one's garbage. They all were endearing in some way. And maybe it's because we were young and we just liked everything, but like amazing. But it's interesting that you say there were borrowed themes in this because most of these shows had a villain. And the villains were awesome. But the villains were all kind of similar-ish. So HR Puff and Stuff had Witchy Poo, whose name was Wilhelmina W. Witchy Poo, by the way.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Yep. And her sidekick was Stupid Bat, which is the bat, Stupid Bat. And then the Bugaloos had Bonita Bazaar, who was played by Martha Ray. That was the villain in this one. Her sidekick was Funky Rat. So there was Stupid Bat and Funky Rat. So yeah, they didn't like travel far from the path, right? Like they were using stuff.
As well, if you Google a picture of, I'll put it up on this, but the picture of Witchy Poo kind of looks like all the villains kind of look the same. They all have the same eye makeup. Because Charles Nelson Riley was in Lidsville, and he looks like Witchy Poo.
He does.
They all kind of have the same look. Like it's almost like they had one artist that only had. Yeah, they all had one artist that had one idea, and that's all they did. Like, it's like, make this one look different. Okay, well, make it look exactly the same, basically, but slightly different color.
And maybe that's part of what we liked as kids is that they were familiar. Like they were all different characters. Like you said, like the Lidsville the bad guy in that one is Horatio J. Hoodoo. He was the bad guy in that one, but that was Charles Nelson Riley. But they all did look the same. So when we'd see a new show, we'd be like, I recognize it. Like it's familiar.
Yeah.
Like it's got the same formula, you know what I mean? And maybe that's why they all worked, because they did have like a similar formula with a similar type of characters and similar storytelling. They just took place in a different land. So
Yeah.
maybe that's why we loved them so much. I don't know, but they were just awesome. Now the one that was a little bit of a departure was Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, because uh it did take place on Earth. It didn't have a separate world, but it was just this family of sea monsters that Johnny, who was played by Johnny Whitaker, befriended. So it was a little bit different, and there wasn't like a villain per se for that one. There was just this family, but again, they were all bizarre. Like they were all just weird. Let me just tell you here. Did you know that Sigmund had a last name? His last name was Ooze. Sigmund Ooze. Yep. And he was played by Billy Barty, and we all love Billy Barty. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Billy
he was in
Barty.
a couple shows. He was in that one,
Yeah.
and he was in another one. I can't remember which one.
He was, yeah.
Was he in Dr. Shrinker?
Oh, Dr. Shrinker. Yes. I think he might have been. Love that show. But so Sigmund also had it was a family, and this is part of what's fun about Sid and Marty Krofft is the names that they gave their characters. So Sigmund's family was Sweet Mama, Big Daddy, Brother Blurp, and Brother Slurp, Uncle Siggy, and then they had Prince, who was their pet lobster.
That's right. Yeah. And
Yeah.
you wonder why we grew up so weird.
I know, right?
Like,
Brother
like
Slurp.
these are the shows that we watched like on the
Yes.
regular, and they're like, and they're so bizarre. Like I remember I read a thing where it said like people are always assumed that they were on LSD when they made these shows.
Yeah.
Because they're so colorful and they're so bizarre. And they insist they didn't do drugs. They said they were just weird people with weird ideas.
Yeah,
but
they actually said you can't. Like they could not have done this show if they had been on drugs. Like it would have been impossible. So they just didn't. Like this is just.
It doesn't mean you can't take that and watch them. But
right. That's a totally different thing. But no,
whole other experience.
Yeah, but this is no. They were totally clean making these things, and I think that's part of what's so fun about them is that they're so innocent. Like they're just pure fun. Like they're family friendly, they're light, but they're also just so quirky and weird. But they're just so awesome.
like they're the kind of thing where like the kind of shows where you'd be like, if someone pitched these shows, you'd be like, what is wrong with you? Like these are shows okay. So the kid finds a talking flute, gets in a boat, ends up in this world. It's like, and there's a giant like hamburglar talking to him or Mary McCheese. Like, what is going on in this? Like, they're all just, and there's a witch. Okay, that seems like kind of weird. Like, there's just so like all the shows are like that. Like even the Bugaloos. Okay, it's like a band, and they all have wings, and they fly around and do what? Like I'm not really sure.
Well, they try to stay away from Bonita Bazaar, is what they do.
Well, I mean, I would too, but yeah.
She wants to steal their voices, so she can be. It's the concepts. Like I'd love to have been part of the elevator pitch for these shows because they are. I don't know how they did it. Like I feel like after they did one, I mean, they were also producing one a year. So they're probably like, you know what? This first one is goofy and weird, and it seems to be working. Let's just give them free reign and go ahead and do it. I mean, they had their own production company, so they were doing it themselves. But still, like people had to like networks had to air this stuff, and they did. They aired it like crazy.
Yeah.
It was so well
and
done.
Puffin stuff had like the series and it had a movie as well that was shot on film. Like it's like a totally different like.
Yeah,
which I gotta watch it. I love the fact that there's a movie.
I know, it's so fun. But I mean, these things are so like they were such a part of my life that I actually own. Here's Lidsville, the complete series, and then here's the Bugaloos, the complete series.
Yeah,
and then here's HR Puffin Stuff, the complete series, and then here's HR Puffin Stuff, the movie.
Yeah, I've got that as well. I got both those.
Yeah,
I've got a bobblehead too. I got an HR Puffin Stuff bobblehead as well. And on the show, I had the flute. I bought that flute or whatever. Yeah,
you do have the flute. So that's how big a deal these shows were for us. Is that all these years later, we have to own them. Like you know, they were just so big. But then of course there was the Krofft Super Show. That was like an hour long, and that's when they had shorter segments with like Electro Woman and Dyna Girl, and so
Yeah.
then you had like an hour of like like shorter Krofft spectacular shows like Bigfoot and Wild Boy. Those ones were all most of those ones were all sort of grounded in more reality, like they were in our world. They didn't, but they were all fantastic. Like they were all superhero-y and colorful, and
Yeah.
so so that went on, and that came out in 1976. And by that time, by 1976, they've been doing this for like 7 years. They got so big that they were asked to create an indoor amusement park called the World of Sid and Marty Krofft. So uh they did. So it lasted, it opened in 1976. It was an indoor amusement park in California, or in Atlanta, Georgia, I believe. And it closed after 6 months. Like I feel like if they had done it today, it would have been a huge attraction. Like I think people would go to that now,
Yeah. I think
to do
that's
that. But
because kids and stoners weren't allowed to drive, probably is
yes,
why they didn't
exactly.
do well. So
No, and their parents didn't understand it, so they were like, "Why would we
yeah,
go there?"
it was pretty weird. Like
Yes,
I don't know how mainstream it was. I think it was fairly mainstream, but not a Hanna-Barbera mainstream. Like I
yeah,
feel like, but I don't know because I talk to people who've never heard of half these shows, and I'm like, how? Like this was like a
yeah.
huge part of my childhood. And I don't know how you've never heard of like Land of the Lost. Like it's like
Yes,
or
I don't understand. Well, and I mean, Land of the Lost had that movie remake with Will Ferrell a bunch of years ago. Like it's
yeah.
big enough, you know. I don't know. You and I used to watch weird stuff though, so I mean,
Yeah, I
maybe
guess. Yeah.
I don't know. But interestingly, so they did their crazy puppet stuff, but then they started moving into more mainstream stuff, like you were saying. So like I said, they did the Brady Bunch hour.
Yeah.
They produced that, which was obviously the Brady Bunch, but they did that. They also did Pryor's Place,
That's
which was
right. Yeah.
Richard Pryor show. They did one called DC Follies. So these were in the 80s now. Barbara Mandrell and the Mandrell sisters, they produced that show in 1980.
God, that's
So in
a
the
blast
80s,
from the past.
yeah, right. So in the 80s, they moved into more variety shows with actual celebrities and that sort of thing. They got away from their puppet stuff, but there was such nostalgia for it that they like rebooted Land of the Lost in 1991, which I
Yeah.
do not remember. Do you remember that? Do you remember a Land of the
I don't
Lost reboot?
remember. I kind of do, but I don't really remember a reboot. But I know they did one, but I don't remember. Like it would have been like much older, and I probably didn't watch it. So
Yeah, there was that. There was another one in 2015 called Mutt and Stuff,
yeah.
which I don't know very much about either. And then in 2016, they rebooted Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. So I mean, there obviously people were out there clamoring for it, but uh, nothing could touch that original stuff.
No, that was the
I don't think.
classic stuff, and it's just it kind of came out like naturally for us. Like I mean, we were young for a lot of it, but like the reruns went to like probably mid '80s, like just even the '70s stuff. But we spent a lot of time
Oh
with it in
yeah,
the Super Show. Like it was just like some of these shows I thought were actual full shows. I forgot they were like just like segments of like
yeah,
other shows. And I think some of them they packaged some of the smaller ones into like much like a bigger show. Like but the but it was kind of funny, like
yes,
looking back at these. One of the things I took away from like because I watched clips of a lot, like pretty much all of them, and there's even if I didn't remember watching the
yep,
show specifically, I remembered images from like the openers, or I remember bits and pieces of it.
yes,
Um, it was the one Dr. Shrinker or whatever, where they shrink down the kids. And the opener is a part where they run up to a rat.
yep,
For some reason, when I saw it, I'm like, oh my God, I
yes,
remember that image, just that part. And I don't know why. There's a lot of that in this where I'm like, I remember that piece. I
yeah.
remember that image, or I remember that. They had like some great theme songs as well. And their theme songs were great because they
That's
usually explained the entire show in the theme song. Like Jimmy,
yes,
he found a hat
totally.
and then he got in
Yeah,
the hat and then he ended up in Lidsville. Like it just totally like
yeah,
they just totally laid it out. Like if you've never seen the show, you know
yes.
exactly how it's set up. from the
Yeah,
theme song. They were very smart in that way. Like so,
they
you
were.
didn't.
And they were all super catchy. Like the theme songs were all like
Yeah,
I could literally sing you the theme song for Dr. Shrinker. I could sing you the theme song for Electro Woman and Dyna Girl.
yeah, they're
Because
all great. They all had like different
yes.
styles, and they're all fantastic. There was
Yeah.
two that were I can't remember which ones they were, but they were very similar. I thought, oh, the Far Out Space Nuts and the Lost
Yes.
Saucer theme
Yes.
songs were very similar sounding. Like it was,
They were really close. And those actually came out the same year, 1975. So they were literally like borrowing stuff from something they did like a couple of months ago.
yeah, they probably used a lot of the same stuff. I bet.
Yeah. Yeah. So that one,
And,
yeah, those
and I
ones came
noticed
out.
that the Sigmund and the Sea Monsters theme song sounded a lot like the Coke song. Like I want to
Oh,
like they want to do that one. Like I want to
yes.
sing it, but they say it sounds kind of like that. Like if you listen
Yeah.
to it again, to give it another listen, I was like, oh my god, this is the same song almost.
Oh,
Like
that's
this, but they've
hilarious.
slightly pitched things a little bit differently. Like it was pretty
Yeah.
funny.
Oh, that's
But
so
the
funny. I'm gonna have to listen to that one. That's
but
good.
yeah, this show, like even like, again, there was so much content from these guys, but some shows obviously I remember a lot better than others because I really was into a couple of them or two or three of them. But it's the images and like the moments in some of them, especially the openers that I really remember. Like I
Yes.
really like as I was watching it, I was like, yep, totally remember that scene. I remember seeing it over and over and over again. Like, or I knew
Yep.
things that I forgot that I knew or had seen before. So like that Far Out Space Nuts, I didn't even remember what that was. And I started watching, like, oh yeah, I totally remember that show. Like I just because I
Yes.
hadn't seen it in so long.
But that's what I mean. Like I feel like we watched all of it. Like let me just do a quick count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There are 15 of these kinds of shows, like the Land of the Lost shows. And I guarantee you we saw all of them.
Yeah.
Like and like I said, like you said, you might not remember them because some of them were shorter or whatever, you didn't watch as much, but I'm sure you saw all of them at one point or another.
Yeah.
It was a decade of Sid and Marty Krofft, like, and that was we were the perfect age to consume all of it. So, we watched them
My
all.
my other question is what came out first, Wonder Bug or Speed Buggy? Because they are the exact same thing.
That is a good question. And then Wonder Bug came out in 1976. So I'd say, okay, now I have to look it up. Now I'd say that's pretty
Like I'm like
close.
this, I'm like, this is just Speed Buggy. Like it's the
It
same
is.
show. Like
Yeah, it totally is. Oh no, Speed Buggy came out first.
did it
Speed
because
Buggy
it
came out
was like
19, yep.
then it was like a major rip off of Speed Buggy because it was
It
exactly
totally
the same thing.
it is exactly the same thing. Speed Buggy came out in 1973. So it was 3 years later that Wonder Bug came out, but it is literally exactly the same. Like the car is the same. It's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a live version of it. So
Yeah.
basically, but
Yeah.
anyways,
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
But so it's just like do some final thoughts, and you can add whatever else you want to add into it
Well, I
before.
just have couple of quick wrap ups here. In 2018, Sid and Marty Krofft were given the Emmy Award for Lifetime Achievement. So they
Yeah.
finally got an Emmy in 2018. In 2020, they got their names on the Hollywood Walk of Fame under television. So they are on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2020. And in 2022, the very first Krofft Con happened in California,
Oh my god,
which
that's hilarious.
if they still had that, I think it only lasted the 1 year, but it was Sid and Marty Krofft and a bunch of the actors who like performed in the shows. If they
Yeah.
had that, I would 100% be going to that every year.
Oh
I would
yeah,
go
I
to
100%
Krofft
would too.
Con.
If it
Yeah,
had like all like different people from the shows and stuff,
yeah.
like 100%.
Oh, like I'm sure they probably had like costumes and that would have been such a fun experience. So that was in 2022. So it was fairly recently. So obviously there's like there still is a massive community like following Sid and Marty Krofft in order to put these things on and
Oh yeah,
get
100%. It was just
yeah.
it's one of those shows. Just like if you know it, you know it,
Yeah.
and you loved it. Like I just again, it surprises me the people that have never heard of half these shows or never heard of HR Puff and stuff. I'm like, how is
Yes.
this a thing? Like I don't know.
Yes. Like
Like
I
how
mean
such a
I was showing my son when he was little. Like I was like, here we have to watch these things, and now he's familiar with them. Like that
yeah.
generations, are going to grow up with this stuff because it's timeless. It's absolutely timeless. Like it's just innocent fun and not controversial at all, and and it's just awesome. Yeah, it's super good.
It's so good. And so, final thoughts on everything? Like, how do you wrap this? Does this stand? Obviously, it stands up, but it's like, what are your final thoughts?
Totally stands up. I will continue watching Sid and Marty Krofft material for as long as I live. Like it's all out there. I just love all of it. I think it's so much fun, and I always will. So, yeah, good memory.
Yeah, I think that the shows, like, all, like, though as weird as they are, all like super ambitious. Like, you won't find a more ambitious group of shows than these shows. If you go through and just even watch the openers of them, you're like, what is happening in these? Like, it's so, like, because everything was done on giant sets, or a lot of the shows were done on these giant sets, and just like the imagination it would have taken to come up with these characters and these things and voices, and it was pretty spectacular when you think about the amount of work that was put into these shows, and then how, and the theme songs and the music and everything else that was put into them. It was pretty wild, and they do kind of seem like a little bit like fever dreams sometimes.
They
like,
totally
when you think back, you're like, I watched this. Like, I don't like this. Like, even watching back on some of these, I'm like, I remember this, but I'm like, this was crazy that I watched this show. Like, I don't even know what's going on, and I also don't know how they filled enough. Based on some of the shows, I'm like, how did they fill enough shows of the Bugaloos to make a full season? Like what plots would they have had that would have filled these shows? But we watched them, so apparently we did.
They did enough to make a box set.
And you own it.
And I own it. Yeah.
I just want to mention as well that if you want to see us go deeper into a couple of these shows, Land of the Lost, we did a full episode on that. And that was episode 4.
Hey, I'm Loop.
And I'm Larry.
And we're here in the jungle because coming up is episode number 4 of Guardians of Geek.
Survivorland.
We're going to be talking movies, we're going to be talking TV, and we're going to be talking a little Land of the Lost.
That was our 4th episode. Like, that was like, so we did a full episode on Land of the Lost, and then we did HR Puff and Stuff, and that was episode 42.
What a beautiful day right here on Living Island. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. It's Luke from Loop and Larry, Guardians of Geek. This week on the show, we've got so much going on, including talking about the Oscars and a review of the Justice League, and we're going to be talking about Puff and Stuff based on HR Puff and Stuff. It's going to be absolutely... What?
Hey, Loop, it's me, Larry Flute. I'm trying out for a part in the revival of HR Puff and Stuff, and because I'm such a method actor, I'm really getting into the role.
Okay, that's weird.
Does this mean I get the part? I'm a flute. Look, I made myself a flute. I don't know if I can get out of this. Help, Loop.
So if you wanted to go back to the first one, Land of the Lost, you're gonna have to listen to because we didn't do video at that point. But the other Puff and Stuff was video, so that would have been 42. So that would have been you'd be able to watch that episode if you want to watch it and go back and see how those are deep dives. Yes. You want to see us do deep dives on those shows? Those are the episodes.
We love our Sid Marty Krofft.
We did. So this is like a good chance to come back and revisit it because it was just such a big part of our childhood. So I obviously endorse it highly if you've never seen it. So
100%.
Maybe on drugs, maybe not. We'll see. Take it from Loop and Dr. Shrimper.
Shrinker.
Well, no, Shrimper. No, it's got even smaller.
No. Okay. And with that,
stupid.
Bye-bye.
See you next time on Loop and Larry, Guardians of Geek.
Bye-bye.
Produced by Matthew C. Loop and Lawrence Simner. A Loop and Larry production.
Bueller.
He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
Bueller.
Bad news. Fog is getting thicker.
And Leon's getting larger.
Inconceivable.
Brian's right. It's an elf.
Wax on.
Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Wax off.